This is going to be a little bit of a follow-up video to the video I did on how to clean a motorcycle gas tank. A lot of people, they have a gas tank, but it's coated with a tank coating. And that way I showed with the Works, it doesn't really dissolve tank liner. I tried it on this little Honda Express tank a couple weeks ago and it didn't even touch it. And then my girlfriend, she's like, well, have you tried like acetone or like nail polish remover? And I was like, that's not gonna work. And then we tried it and it dissolved it in a few seconds. So I was clearly wrong about that. And so I'm gonna show you how to do it on this gas tank and a little samples of different types of gas tank liner I've tried it on. For instance, this is probably one of the more popular gas tank liners. And then I'm also gonna show you one that's in this gas tank. I pulled a little chunk out of the gas tank to show you how it dissolves. It's more of a white, creamy color one. If you've got any little rubber seals on your gas tank anywhere, like this guy, or if you've got any plastic parts or anything that acetone is going to dissolve, you want to make sure that you remove those or find a different method if that's not going to work for you. You also want to watch the paint. You want to be really, really careful when you're pouring it in, not to dissolve your paint job. I don't want to be responsible for you ruin your nice paint job. A few things that you're gonna need to do this, or at least the way that I'm gonna do it, is you need a gas tank, obviously. You need some acetone, and you need something to plug up the holes in your gas tank. So for me, I'm just using a cork just like I did in the other video. Corks aren't gonna dissolve in acetone. They might leak a little bit because they're so porous, and acetone's so viscous or has such a low viscosity. The next thing you're gonna need is a big tub or something. I don't actually know if acetone dissolves this type of plastic, but it's just like a cheap $2 Walmart bin, and it'll help prevent it from at least getting all over my workbench. And you want to wear some safety glasses and maybe some gloves. That's everything I can think of. So let's give it a shot. I'll show you kind of how it works. So the first thing we're going to do is just try to dissolve a couple of the different chunks of the tank liners, and this is maybe something you should do too before pouring a gallon of acetone in your gas tank, is just try to pull out a little chunk, dunk it in some acetone, and make sure that it actually dissolves it. Because I haven't tried every single tank liner out there, I've just tried these two that I happen to have around the shop. And you can see it's already starting to dissolve. And then after a minute or so, I put my tweezers in there just to see how it was reacting, and it was already starting to really come apart. And then I let it sit for another 20 minutes, and you can see this little time lapse of it, and you can see it all just dissolving into a pile of goo at the bottom of the cup. So I mixed it up, make sure I got most of the chunks all dissolved. And then I took a cardboard box and put it in my little plastic bin and poured all the acetone out so that we could see how much of it was dissolved and what was left after it all was dissolved. And all that was left was just a bunch of these little chunks of old metal and gooey chunks of some of the liner that didn't dissolve. But for the most part, it was completely dissolved. So I felt pretty comfortable pouring a good amount of the acetone into the gas tank. And next we're gonna try some of that other gas tank liner. This is that really popular kind you can buy anywhere. Pour just a little bit less in this time because I've got just a small chunk, and let it dissolve. And this one took a lot longer. I had to let it sit overnight, but eventually it finally dissolved. And it might be because the tank liner in the Express is an older formula, or maybe it just is older. And now we're gonna actually get to the process of stripping the tank liner out. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of flaky chunks still in the gas tank. And the first thing that you're gonna wanna do is pull out as much of that as possible, because it's gonna save a lot of the dissolving property of the acetone if you can get out as much as possible, and it's gonna make it quicker and easier. So you can see I pulled out a lot of these bigger chunks, and you might not be able to, but it makes it faster if you're able to do that. And then I got my little plastic bin, and I'm putting some wood blocks in so that the tank is suspended. So if there is any leakage while I'm not watching, that the tank's not just sitting in acetone. And then plug off all the holes with some cork, whatever you have that works. Put it in the bin, and now you're ready to pour the acetone in. And I would suggest using a funnel or something that's gonna help prevent it from spilling all over your paint job. And maybe try just pouring it a little bit first and making sure that you're not missing any holes and that it's not leaking out. And then just slosh it around and start working it through, maybe add a little bit more and then let it sit. You know, I let this sit for another 20, 30 minutes. And then when I went to uncork it, it wasn't coming out at first. And then I had realized that a big old booger of half dissolved tank liner was sitting right at the spout, and it finally came out. And all of that tank liner had pretty much not dissolved to a liquid, but just kind of got into a gel, which makes it easier to clean out anyway. So if it doesn't all come out, you could always take a hose and start a high pressure hose and start blasting out good chunks of it, or repeat the process over and over until you get all of that cleaned out. But mine dissolved pretty quickly, and I was able to get the majority of it out in the first run of acetone. And I tried to film what the inside looked like after it was out, but I couldn't get the right sunlight, so I took it out on the Bronco and just really cranked up the camera so you could see the inside. And as you can see, there's a few spots here and there, but for the most part it's pretty clean, but it's got rust everywhere. So now I just have to do what I did in the works video and clean all that rust out. That's how you clean an old gas tank liner out of your gas tank. So now that that's all cleaned out, I'm going to remove any residual rust that's left in there with either the works, or maybe I'll try apple cider vinegar. Some people in the comment section said that was a lot better. I doubt it's better, but it's supposedly more eco-friendly. So maybe I'll try that on this one and make a video of that. Maybe comparing the two of works and apple cider vinegar. And then I'll do another video on how to seal a gas tank, how to do it the right way, or at least the way I do it. 90% of the time that these gas tank liners come off, it's because people didn't do the right prep work and they didn't do everything they needed to make sure that that liner actually seals completely to the metal of the inside of the gas tank. So I'll be doing a video on that pretty soon too. So look out for that.